My name is Jessica and I live on a boat and I suck at swimming. I have to practice.
We're getting ready to leave Santa Rosalia, so we're making preps. Jessica's in there destroying the boat, pulling stuff out, putting stuff away. It's a disaster in there. So one of the preparations we have to do is get fuel, and so we walked up to the fuel dock, and our buddy that we met last year at the fuel dock when we were here, Vidal, was there working. Greeted us with a big old smile, remembered our name. So happy to see us. You know, it makes you feel good. Last year when we were here, the marina was full, but they put us on the fuel dock and we ended up hanging out with Fidel quite a bit. I'd give him some cold Coca-Colas because, you know, 100 degrees out here. And he would, you know, before we left, he bought us some candy. Well, today he brought us some candy. He remembered how much we loved it and appreciated it. And he brought us some more candy, which is just amazing. It's one of the reasons we cruise, is to talk to people like Fidel, one of the locals, and just make his day. You know, it just makes us happy. And the security guard, Marco, also recognized us when we pulled in. He came down, it's a big old smile, gave us a big old handshake and a hug and said, welcome back. He's glad to see us. Just super genuinely happy people here in Baja. It's very, very refreshing to see. It always amazes me how long it takes us to get ready to go. We got a few things left to do. We've already got some provisioning done. We got one more load of that to do probably. We got a few chores to do, because we're gonna spend the next 3 to 4 weeks kind of on anchor. So we need to be prepared for that. We'll be 3 or 4 weeks without civilization, which is great, which is where we like to be, is out on the anchorage out in the islands. So I've got to do a few things. I need to water the batteries. I need to check the fluids in the engine and the diesel. Need to make sure we have gasoline for the dinghy. While we're on the dock, we're going to use the water and wash Haraya, get some salt off of her, so we can go sail tomorrow. You know, get it all salty again. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but that's what we're going to do. Yeah, let's get after it. Let's get this stuff done. Our batteries are underneath our port side sete. So that means I got to take everything off. Cushions, everything we store behind here to get to these things. It's really not that bad though. They got pretty good access. Looks like we also have a little bit of corrosion. I don't know if that's for me spilling some acid on them when I fill them up or not. But I'm gonna grab some gloves and take care of that as well while I'm at it. I'm not sure why we have so much corrosion on our positive terminals. I really don't know enough about that stuff. And see if it's something I can do to prevent that, or if it is just I'm spilling a little bit when I'm dumping in this water. The lead acid batteries lose water as they charge. Add a little bit of water. They usually don't take much to keep them above the plates, because if you let the air get to the plate, something about sulfating or something. So, and it's like this, it's really not hard to do. At least it's not hard to do on our boat, because the access is really easy. I also check all the other wires in there, and I just wiggle stuff around, make sure nothing's loose in there. Flip the breakers, make sure they're still functioning. You know, you only do it every 2 or 3 months. It takes a few minutes. Take a good look at it. See if you see anything obvious. The engine's pretty easy to check as well. I mean, I just go through, I kind of mess with the belt on the alternator, make sure it's tight. I pull the radiator cap off, make sure there's coolant in it. Check the oil, obviously. And then I also just kind of poke around a little bit, make sure I don't see any like fuel leaking or any loose wires, anything like that. And I also make sure that the through hole is open. I know it's closed right now because I was working on this exhaust a little while ago and we haven't ran the engine since, and I turned it off at that point. Again, I just check, just kind of take a little peek at everything, you know. If there's no fuel, make sure all the clamps are on. That's about it. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, but you know, don't listen to us. We've had engine troubles. We had to rebuild this whole thing, so So maybe you shouldn't take our advice. Although I don't think we harmed our engine before. We only put like 150 to 200 hours on it. Did 2 oil changes on it and it just blew up. So I don't think we harmed it. We are just ripping through our list. Engine's done, batteries are done. Jessica's about got the boat washed with some fresh water. See if we can find her up there somewhere. I can hear her.
You know what there needs to be?
What?
We need a hole right here. Because I can't get it to drain without spreading the sand from one side to the other.
Apparently we need a few more scuppers. There are 3 of them going through the till rail, but apparently not quite in the right spot.
It feels so good to have a clean boat. And I'm not even scrubbing it with soap. I'm literally just rinsing it off with water. She's a salty girl. We need to kind of help her out with that. It's bad. It's bad. The deck was actually just salty. In the cockpit, it just has the dirt and grime of our everyday life, sunscreen and little specks of sand that come in and dirt and body odor and all of that really nasty stuff. So now I'm going to have to use some soap and clean up a little bit more. Better. Yuck. That's what happens when we're in a hurry. I almost washed it.
Jessica about washed my wallet because I left it in my pants.
Just it?
Yeah.
Is it cold? It's cold. It is so cold.
We could try the hot tub.
Colder. That's funny.
Apparently the hot tub's colder than the pool. Maybe it's a cold soaking pool.
Not so bad in the sunshine. It's one way to cool off.
How is it?
Good. It's good. Yeah, you're missing out. You probably should get in here.
What a good way to spend the rest of the afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
Pool, some drinks, some rum, relaxing. This is what we're supposed to be doing all the time, not working on the boat.
Begging you to do this all day, and now you're like, oh, this is a good idea.
Yeah.
It was my idea.
We really like Santa Rosalia.
Yeah, I don't want to leave, but we do need to
we
move
are
on.
leaving tomorrow. Oh well.
I'm all kissy, lovey-dovey.
It's because it's your birthday.
Oh!
You gotta be nice on her birthday.
Just on my birthday. I don't know what that means. Oh! Oh! I needed that.
It's so cold.
It feels like the lake is at home. we're training.
Well, we are getting ready to pull out of Santa Rosalia. I think the boat's ready. Things are tidy. Things are put away. It's supposed to be decent weather out there for us, but this always makes me nervous because we haven't docked this boat in a proper slip for over a year. So I'm always nervous getting out of a slip. We're not that good at it, to be honest, because we haven't done it much. The other problem we're gonna have is our boat has a pretty good port prop lock. So when we hit reverse, the stern wants to kick the port really bad. But we need to try to get out of here going starboard. So that's gonna be interesting. It may or may not work. If it doesn't work, we might end up trying to back out of here and spin the boat a different way, but we're gonna try really hard to get her to turn her stern to starboard.
easy, actually. I didn't need to be nervous at all.
Plan worked just as we had hoped. Got a little bit of steerage, put it in neutral, boat's bow came around for us, fought our prop lock, it was great. All right, we are out of here. It is dead calm right now, but here in a couple hours it's supposed to start blowing from the south a little bit, 10 to 15, so it's forecasted. We do have 90 miles to go, so we will probably motor for a little bit and get out of here. You know, it's gonna be a 24, 26 hour sail for us. So a little overnight, we haven't overnighted in a while, but it's not a problem. We actually don't mind the overnight sails. It's kind of peaceful outside. Life's rough. Eating grapes.
Exercise! That's what we do when we're bored.
We are 3 hours into our trip, our 90-mile trip. We've done nothing but motor for the last 3 hours because there's just no wind. We've gone 17 miles, so we're averaging whatever, 5.5 or so. You know, we chose today to go because there's supposed to be winds filling in. And we've been in Santa Rosalia for, I don't know, 8 or 9 days already. We were ready to leave. But there's no wind. Hopefully we're not motoring the whole 90 freaking miles. I mean, we're glad we can, but we don't want to.
There will be words said if we have to motor the whole way, because he might have been ready to leave, but I wasn't. I really like Santa Rosalia. I could stay there for a long time. I could.
The only problem with staying in Santa Rosalia forever is it costs a lot of money. I mean, you don't spend money when you're on anchor, right? You just need food. And Santa Rosalia is cheap. But you still have to pay your slip fee, and there, you go out and eat a lot, you know, but it's fun. You have a good time there, and that's what it's all about.
I want to see a whale or dolphin, something. We seen a whale earlier. I seen a whale. Sam was taking a nap. It's one of those moments that you look back, you see the black, like something going on, and all of a sudden you see the big tail with the flukes out, and you're like, well, that was a whale. That was a huge whale. And they dive and they don't ever come back up.
We motored for 7 hours before the wind even started to come in, and it's really light still. We're only doing 2.5 to 3 knots right now. But 7 hours of motoring when every wind model said we were gonna have 15 knots from the south. It's not always right. Weather's local. No matter where you are, the weather is local. Anyways, we are under sail right now. It's gonna take us a lot longer to get there. We're no longer doing 5, 6 knots. We're doing 2 to 3, but that's okay. We knew it was gonna be overnight. It is what it is. At least this way we'll get there in the daylight. We kept motoring, we were gonna get there like 3 in the morning, and that's not awesome at all. sail for about an hour. And then the wind completely died. Look at this. There's still a little bit of swell, but there is not even a ripple on the water here. Said 5 of the forecast models all said 10 to 15 knots of wind from the south today. All of them were wrong. Doesn't surprise us though. It happens more than you think. I don't know if it's just because we're in the Sea of Cortez and it's hard to predict the wind patterns unless they're really big, you know, 30 knotters. Or, I mean, I really don't know why.
I think it's the season.
She may be right. We are in a transitional period in the sea right now where the northers are stopped moving or stopped blowing and the south winds are starting to fill in. So, you know, maybe it's a little hit and miss and they can't quite figure out how to do it yet, but I don't know. It is what it is. But now we've got another little dilemma. At the speed we're doing right now, because we were not planning on motoring the whole way, we were planning on doing sailing about 4 knots, that's about our average. But we're motoring at 5 to 6, which means we're gonna arrive at 3 in the morning to an anchorage that we've only been in once, and it only fits like 2 boats. It's really tight. So I don't think we really want to do that in the dark. There's also no moon tonight, so it's gonna be really dark, but the stars are gonna be amazing tonight. That'll be cool. So I don't know what we're gonna do. We're gonna probably slow down, or because I really don't want to. I think we really want to do that in the daytime, early morning. Go in there. It's not really charted. It's not well marked. It's kind of an unknown anchorage. It's not in the most popular cruising guide around here, so no one really is ever there.
Only the most important things get done when we're on passage, because I get seasick. I try really hard not to. It's not a choice. But especially this motion that we're having right now, this is the one that gets me. We're having guacamole and chips for dinner because we're just both not real hungry. I mean, if you think about it, we haven't done anything since we left the marina. We have been sitting still with the occasional stand up and stretch. So you're not burning a ton of calories anyway. So we tend to make our meals really simple or more snacky, and we eat more frequently throughout the day. So this will be our dinner, and then we'll probably have the famous popcorn in the middle of the night to try to stay awake.
We're living it right on Araya. Coffee and guac. Well, the sun's about to set, which is great. It's usually my favorite time of the night. Except right now there's 2 ships up there, big old fishing ships. I'm sure they're trawling the sea with nets and stuff, whatever. And of course they're not on AIS. And we're getting a little bit close to one of them, and I can't see the other one. I think maybe because they're behind the sun. You know, so just one more thing to keep an eye out the next half hour. I gotta keep an eye on these boats. And we're also gonna start going into this channel, the Lorenzo channel, and the tide's going down. And sometimes there's like a 4 to 5 knot current when the tide is coming down, which actually might be good for us. It'll slow us down and we'll land in our anchorage during the daytime instead of at 2 or 3 in the morning.
Getting tucked in for the night. I'm gonna try sleeping out here in the dew and the humidity instead of sleeping inside with the diesel running, because it's hot and stuffy in there. It's such a nice night out here.
Jessica's going to bed. It's just me. Sun's about down. It's getting dark out. We have to rely completely on our charts and GPS right now. There are no lights or lighthouses or channel markers or anything like that around here. We're fine and we're confident because we have been through here before and we know that it's accurate. At least up until where we want to anchor. I don't think that's accurate or marked real well. And we didn't record our track last time going in. And I know there's some rocks and stuff. So at one point we are slowing down. Even to drifting, I don't know what we'll do, but we are not going to enter our anchorage at dark. Not this one. We've entered plenty at dark, but I don't, like I said, I don't really trust the chart on this one, and it's a really small anchorage. And there's currents, and if you miss it, there's reefs, and it's just not worth the boat, you know? Not for drifting for 2 or 3 hours.
Our winds never filled in as we motored on through the night. With an estimated arrival time of 2 a.m., we opted instead to tuck into the familiar bay of San Francisco, where we would get a good night's rest. Waking with the sun, we continued on to Isla Animas. Pretty crazy. The last time we were going across this channel, we hit it right at the spring tide, full moon. It was roaring like a river. Little mistake we made, not really paying attention to it. But I mean, now take a look. Like, it's just as flat as can be. We'll see what it looks like when we get further into the channel where the currents are supposed to be high. They're up to 5 knot currents. This is Isla Lorenzo behind me, and last time we were here, we were having to point at the south end of the island because we were drifting way past our spot at the top of the next island. I forgot where I'm going. Where are we going? What? Isla Animas, sorry. I don't know where I am half the time, but that's okay. So anyway, we were pointing down to the south end of this island, Lorenzo, in order to combat the current that we were facing, getting to Isla Animas at the north end.
So let me show you our track. I haven't changed the autopilot. It's on the same heading, and this is how much we were drifting. We came out on this line, and the minute we hit the current, whew, yeah, the purple line's where we're trying to be. So anyways, I'm gonna turn up probably like 20, 25 degrees or more to get across this and not miss our spot. We are just getting to the island, to Isla Animas. Just trying to sort out this anchorage. It's kind of hard to see the point, the little bay we're supposed to go into. Relying on the chart a little bit. And what's sad is we've actually been here once before and we're still having a hard time making out this little bay. Which again is why I did not want to do this in the dark. Reefs to our left, to our port side. There's a whole mile-long reef over there that, you know, it was like 3 to 4 feet deep or something. There are rocks to the right, to the starboard. There's cliffs. A lot of reasons we didn't do this at night. But it's a cool little spot for us. We really like it here.
As we get closer, it doesn't look like anybody's here, so we may be able to be in our exact same spot we were last time, which was